Hello, hello everyone. Sarah Lynn here. Welcome to Pinkoween. Today we are doing video 4, which is called Spellbook, and this is going to be a fun little dot mandala. Today I'm working on, let's see, I think this is 5 inches. Let me measure again. 5¼ inches and about 14 centimeters. So that's the surface I'm working on. Feel free to work on whatever surface works best for you. It can be a square, it can be a circle. You can dot on just about anything. For Pinkoween, these are the colors that I am using this month. You can choose any pinks, any oranges, and if you're not feeling the Pinkoween color palette, you can of course change the colors and make them your own. Have fun with it. But this year, pink is definitely trending for Halloween, so that's what I am doing. I've got my colors set up here, and let's get started. You ready to dot? All right. I am going to start, let's see, I'm going to make a center dot with my 10mm tool. And we're going to go orange, dark orange. Remember, I've got 2 oranges, dark and light. I'm going to use my dark orange for the center. 10mm center dot. Then I'm going to get my dark pink. We're going to do 1.5mm. I'm going to start with my north, south, east, and west. We're going to end up doing 16 of these. One and a half millimeters dark pink. Then I'm going to do that again. Great, so right now I have 8. And then I'm going to come back through and put 1 halfway in between each of those for a total of 16 1.5mm dots. Sorry about that. My dog's got a lot to say today. All right. We're going to go to light orange in 2mm. And then I'm going to create another ring. These are going to go in the spaces. I'm going to create 16 dots, 1 in each space, all the way around. All right, so our center dot, 10 millimeters, dark orange. Then we did a ring of 1.5 millimeters with our dark pink. And then a ring of 2 millimeters with our light orange. Then we're going to go to 3 millimeter tool, and we're going to do our light pink. For this last ring, these fall on the lines. All right, so we've got 16 of those. We've got our center dot and then 3 rings. All right, next I'm going to go back to dark orange and 4 millimeter tool. If you hear crunching in the background, that's my dog. He's not been eating well, so he's got food in here in the room with me. All right, so we're going to create 8 4 millimeter dots. So this is one every other line. All right, we're going to switch to the light orange. 2.5 millimeter tool. And we're going to do a dot and swipe around these. So I'm going to start with my center dot first, 2.5 millimeters with the light orange. And then I'm going to grab a 2 millimeter tool. You could go down to 1.5 millimeter if you don't have a 2. And I'm going to dip and swipe on each side. Crunching is distracting me. So we rescued a German Shepherd recently, and he was really, really underweight. You could see all of his bones, his hips, and his ribs, and he was just really, really tiny and skinny. So it's really important that we find ways to make him eat, and he likes to be away from the other animals when he's eating. So he gets to crunch, crunch, crunch in here with me. All right, going back to dark orange, we're going to do another dot and swipe. This time I'm going to use a 3mm center dot. I'm going to do that all the way around. 3mm. Dark orange. And then with the same dark orange, we're going to do a 2.5mm swipe on each side. So this is what it should look like right about now. All right, next I'm going to open up my white. We're going to get our 4mm tool. And in between each of these, we're going to add a 4mm dot. So that was 4mm in white. All right, next we're going to get our 6mm tool. And we're going to create some 6mm dots. These go right next to the white dot that we created. Whoop. Whoop. All right, we're going to follow the same pattern that we did with the inside there. I'm going to use a 2mm dot in light pink for my center dot. And I'm going to swipe on each side with the 2mm. And I go back to dark pink. Center dot, 3mm. And then 3mm swipe on both sides. This one's longer, so I'm going to do kind of like a half swipe and then come back and bring it all the way around. The next step, we're going to need some white and some dark orange. I am going to get my 2mm stylus. 2.5 would be fine as well. We're just going to do short swipes. So in between these petals, we're going to do a dark orange swipe inward. So 8 of those. So 8 with the dark orange, 2 millimeters. And then I'm going to do some on the sides with the white. All right, we're going to go back to 6 millimeters, light orange. And where we made the swipes, I'm going to add a light orange 6 millimeter dot. So 8 of these. I am going to dip and swipe around these. I'm going to start with my 2.5 millimeters dark orange for my center dot. And then swipe on each side. I'll pause for a second. I've got a little smudge, so I'm just going to fix that. Little smudges for my hands and splatters. So I'm just going to take a moment and clean up a little bit. All right. Now is the fun part. We're going to do some swoops and swipes. The first, I'm going to use my orange, my light orange 3mm tool. And we're going to create a large swipe starting where we would put our center dot and going all the way on the right side. Oops. Got away from me a little bit. There we go. All right, we're going to use our 3mm tool and our white. I'm going to swipe on the other side, except this time I'm going to start down by the bottom and swipe upward. Then we are going to go to light pink. 3mm stylus. We're going to move over a little bit and we're going to add another swipe. This one you may have to double swipe because of the length. We're going to switch to dark pink. Still our 3mm stylus. This time I'm going to dot. I'm going to move over a little bit. And I'm going to follow the shape of that swipe with the walking the dots. Still using our 3mm stylus. And I'm using the shapes of those swipes to guide me. Just fixing a little smudge here. All right, this time I'm going to grab a 4mm stylus. I'm going to start with a light orange dot. This is just going to be the end of where we walk the dots, but I want this to be a little larger than my stylus. So 4mm right next to where we walk the dot. Light orange. I'm going to grab that 3mm stylus again, and then we're going to walk the dot. And that is the base of the Spellbook design. If you made it with me, if you got it along with me, I would love to see what you created. You can always tag me on the socials at Teralyn Pugh Artist. I will have a finished picture of this on my Facebook page, and you can always post it beneath that as well. If you find value in my videos, I would love it if you would follow my YouTube. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It means so much to us as small business creators. You have no idea. So thank you for joining me for Pinkoween video number 4. I hope you are enjoying this series. I can't wait to see what you create, and I